Welcome back to my experience with Pokemon TCG. If you've been following my YouTube channel, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. And if you're new to my YouTube channel, hi, I'm glad you're here. I've been playing Pokemon the card game for about the last month or so. So I really mean it when I say I didn't expect to start placing high at these things only a month in, which is why, unfortunately for this video, there's no actual footage of me playing these matches, but as soon as I got home, I scripted them, I recapped them to the best of my ability. And so I try to help you guys visualize these matches with like editing and stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. But one last thing, I put a community post up last week asking if you guys wanted to see me open Black Bolt and White Flair, the newest Pokemon card sets that came out. And an overwhelming majority of you guys said yes. So that's in this video too. It's actually right now. Enjoy the video. Okay, hi. So I have a ton of prize packs from the event, but I don't think you guys really want to see me open those because there's not really anything crazy in there. I'll still show the hits if I get anything good, but I got 2 tins. So I got 2 packs of Black Bolt and 2 packs of White Flair. So I'm gonna open these tins and yeah, that's pretty much it. So we have this tin first. So I'll open this one also. You get 2 of them? Oh, one of them's a sticker. I've never actually had a tin before. You get a piece of cardboard. Oh, what? Oh, that's cool. Okay, cards. That's what you guys are here for. We got 1 pack of Black Bolt and 1 pack of White Flair. Let's open White Flair first. Here's the code card in case anybody wants it. Just put one in the front. Ooh, Psychic, Vanillite, Joltik, I don't really like Joltik, Gotharita, Lampent, Gigalith, I actually really like Gigalith, Gigalith is cool, Energy Retrieval, oh, that's in this set too, Swanna, Ferrothorn, Cofagrigus, ooh, Hydrogen EX, okay, let's sleeve this up. Okay, first pack, we got 1 hit. Hydrogen EX, Hydreigon EX. I'm still struggling how to say that. We have Black Bolt. Here's the code card for anybody that wants it. Fire. Ooh, oh, this one's holographic too. Okay, Fire. Oh. Tranquil, Dwebble, Palpitoad, Venipede, Crocodile. I'm not even gonna try and say that. Pass. Darumaka, Petlil. Ooh, Victini. I like this card. Okay, next tin. We have the sticker again and the little artwork piece. We'll open White Flair first again. Code card. Water. Mienfoo. Oshawott. Oh, that's cool. I like that one. Oh, Trubbish is cool. The arts on these are low-key really nice. Hilda. Oh, I've heard good things about Hilda. Hilda's really good. I might run these with Garchomp. Swoobat. Swanna. Dewott. Lillipup. Where is he? What does this do? Cool. Black Bolt time. Code card. Be Psychic. Ooh. Oh. I'm gonna put this in the Garchomp deck. This is cool. Clink, Golett, Temple, Fungus, Prism Energy, Simipour, Crocodile again. Is this a different artwork? I can't remember. Ooh, Pokeball Simipour, Darumaka, Kyurem EX. Oh, that's cool. Okay. So it looks like these are our hits, along with the Hydrogen EX. Not bad. Not bad at all. So for my first match, I was at table 3, and my opponent was using an Evolutions deck. I already had some experience going up against Evolutions players from the 100 Games video. A lot of my experience actually comes from the 100 Games video, so for future reference, that's what I mean by experience. He was using Evolutions, and it wasn't that good of a start. He led with the EVEX from Prismatic. It was also the SIR one, which is crazy because I'm pretty sure that's like $200 raw. But then I was leading with Rosalia. Not the best, but I was going second. so it was kind of okay. For my first turn, I ended up with a Rosalia in the active, one on the bench, and one Gibble. But by his second turn, he ended up with Flair on EX, and it wasn't looking good for me. But then my opponent Iono'd, and it was amazing. He set me up for success with that Iono better than any school counselor could. I had Arven, I had Crispin, I had a Gabite, I had the Team Rocket Tower. It was beautiful. Unfortunately though, that turn he did knock out the Rosalia I had in the active, but it didn't matter. My next turn, I set up Gabite, and then I used Champion's Call to find me a Garchomp. I also was able to get a Roserade that I evolved from my hand, and the bench setup was pristine. Now that I had Garchomp, it was time to butcher those evolutions. I knocked out the Flareon with one shot. I knocked out the Leafeon with one shot my next turn, but then he brought back the Leafeon the following turn with Night Stretcher, but luckily my my team doesn't take much energy, so his attack didn't do much, and that was all the energy he could use. So Garchomp tanked it, and then I ended up knocking out his Leafeon, securing the first match win of the challenge. Now, I was terrified for my second match. My opponent was using Dragapult EX, which is arguably the best deck in the meta right now. And Garchomp, well, let's just say this matchup isn't necessarily in his favor. Now, my opponent led with Dreepy, and I led with Rosalia. Again, not necessarily the best start for me. My preferred is to start with Gibble, but it wasn't all bad. In my hand, I had Gabite and Roserade, which weren't that useful to me because I had an Arven in my hand, and it was perfect. With Arven, I was able to grab a Buddy Poffin and a Team Evo, attached return to the Rosalia in the active. I had a Gibble and one other Rosalia on my bench, attached the Team Evo, and got a free Roserade and Gabite free of charge, which allowed me to hopefully Garchomp next turn. Fortunately for me, my opponent was bricking harder than Bob the Builder. By the end of his second turn, he only had a Dreepy in the active with a Fire Energy attached and a Psychic Energy attached. But his bench was full. He had multiple Dreepies on there, he had a Hoot, and he had a Pheasantipity. But that wasn't really going to be worth anything if he couldn't pull Dragapult or Dracloak. My second turn, I was able to get Roserade because I evolved from my hand. And then I used Champion's Call on the Gabite to grab a Garchomp, and then I switched them out, put Garchomp in the active spot. And then unfortunately, the only energy I had in my time was a Luminous Energy, so I attached Luminous Energy to Garchomp and knocked out the first Dreepy. Next turn, my opponent then got Dragapult EX, which wasn't good for me because he also used a Crispin to get both of the energies he needed. He was also using Noctiles, Pheasantipity, and the Dracloak ability I don't know the name of. He was searching his deck for all the cards he needed, and he actually ended up getting a lot of them. But it didn't matter because I one-shot all of his Pokemon that are on the board, and he doesn't come close to one-shotting any of mine. At least, Garchomp. Next turn, I knock out his Dragapult, and he sends up Noctowl to kind of scramble and stall while he sets up a second Dragapult. But it didn't matter. I made quick work of the Noctowl, and at this point I had sent up a fresh Garchomp that has 0 damage on it, but I only had 1 energy, so when his Dragapult got sent up next, I could only do 160. But then he retreats that Dragapult back, sends up a second Noctowl, but when he evolved the Hoot into Noctowl, I had played the Team Rockets card beforehand, so he couldn't use the ability to help him find item cards he needed anyway. So at this point, the victory was kind of certain for me. So I make quick work of the Noctowl again, and then I knock out his second Dragapult, and I win the match. Now my third match can only be described in one word. Brick. I couldn't get anything. My opponent was using Joltik Box. You think that'd be an easy win for me, right? Considering that Giggle, Gabite, and Garchomp all do ×2 damage to every single card in that deck. Wrong. I had the worst hand. 2 Rosalia, a ton of energy, and a Power Glass has served me 0 purpose because there isn't going to be anything for me to use in the discard pile. No Arvens, no Gibbles, no Buddy Poffins, no nothing. Nothing to help me search. I was just stuck with that hand and I couldn't pull anything. So, long story short, by turn 5, my opponent won and I had to wait 25 minutes for the next round to start. But this loss was my one and only loss for the entirety of the challenge. So, I guess it wasn't all too bad. My final match was against Ethan's Typhlosion mixed in with Charizard EX. I led with Gibble, and my opponent led with Charmander. For my first turn, I was able to play a Buddy Poffin, and I attached an energy for turn onto my Gibble in the active, and by the end of my first turn, I had 1 Gibble and 2 Roselia on my bench that I planned on evolving all of them for my next turn. Fortunately for me, my opponent wasn't pulling negative cards their first turn, but my second turn, I hit the craziest setup of my life. I evolved the Gibble that was on my bench and took a bite, used Champion's Call to find a Garchomp in my deck, kept it in my hand, and then played Arven, got a rare candy, and I think a Cynthia's Power Weight, but more importantly, the rare candy. I used the rare candy to evolve the Gibble that was in the active spot into Garchomp, and I had a turn 2 Garchomp, and I got to work. I knocked out the Charmander, I knocked out their Cyndaquil, and then it happened. They pulled a Quilava, and they got their first Ethan's Adventure, and set up with another Cyndaquil, and a Typhlosion and Fire Energy for their next turn. The next turn, my opponent used Typhlosion's attack and did 160 to my Garchomp. But then I swapped it out for a fresh Garchomp that I had on bench that was fully energized, and I one-shot my opponent's Typhlosion. My opponent then brought in a second Typhlosion and hit my fresh Garchomp for 220. Enter Spiritomb. I had accumulated a whopping 380 damage on all of my bench Cynthia's Pokemon, or all of my bench Cynthia's Pokemon combined, and Spiritomb was out for blood. I one-shot my opponent's Typhlosion, and the rest of the match was mine. I knocked out their last Cyndaquil, and I knocked out their last Charmander, and I had officially won my last match of the challenge.
Okay, so I don't know how well this is gonna sound, but I just finished the last match and I went 3-1. So you guys will see how well I do based on the thumbnail of this video, but also just like, you'll see.
So yeah, I ended up getting 3rd overall in this challenge, which was honestly insane. I didn't think I would do this well, at least only being a month into my Pokemon TCG, I guess, journey. So that was really cool. I actually did get champion points from this one. I was wrong in the last video where I said you get champion points just by participating in the challenge and cups. You have to do top placement, and since I got top 4, I got 8 points, which is actually crazy. I think someone said that I need like 700 more to go to Worlds. So like and subscribe if you want to see me go to Worlds, and I will try my best to get to Worlds. That would be crazy. I promise for like future events that I'll bring my camera stuff all the time, just in case something like this happens where I unexpectedly do really good. So that way I'll have footage for you guys to watch instead of just like me yapping with pop-ups and editing and memes. Or if you guys like that, let me know. I can do this too. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like and subscribe for more videos. I'm trying to do every week and every 2 weeks for a new video. But yeah, see you guys.